confidence. And then after that, boom, it's all over. And we can see, how this shit fall. But that's how it is. The reason being is because if I can't live free, if I can't live with the same respect as the next man, I don't want to be here. Because God has cursed me to see what life should be like.
Yeah. 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 I was a little kid from the South. Now I'm here. Life been full of fears. When I walked around the city, I was scared, it wasn't pretty. I was trying to really fit in, trying to have some friends. Being a young southern boy on the west coast, nigga was doing the most. But I grew up kinda hard. Me and my sister grew apart. My mother worked hard for us to get that paper, and God we trust. There was never no envy. Tried to give us a life for seeing me being persecuted by the enemy. Yeah. Before the storm. Yeah.
One thing for sure, I can tell you who's not on Epstein's list. Nobody black, no immigrants.
Before the storm.
That's real.
It's always calmness before the storm. Before the storm. It's always calmness before the storm. Don't take shelter from this rainstorm. There'll be no rescue from this deluge. The storm is great. Your heart and life it'll take. Always look up to the sky, look to God for support from the Lord. He'll take care of you every day. So don't fucking stray. Live your life right, work hard, get your paper. All these haters out there, yeah, see them later. Fuck them girlfriends who always asking to go on a date. The money they gon' fucking take, they don't care, they some fakes, they don't love you, dog. Get your motherfucking bread and leapfrog all your problems and do it right. Yeah, before the storm.
What's happening, y'all? It's your boy OMD300, and welcome to the Corner Store Podcast. Wonderful day. It is stopped raining in Southern California. It is actually sunny today, but it is very cold. Winter is trying to settle on in. What's good? Shout out to the East Coast. Everybody in the building, shout out. And it is now cold as hell all over the United States of America, as per usual this time of year. So wherever you are, bundle up. Make sure you start to layer now. Don't go out there and mess around and get sick. We don't know if COVID's coming back. We don't know what kind of flus is out there. We don't know anything. Also, keep your sanitizer handy and close by. Going into places and things like that. Also, use it when you get back in the car after touching all these doors. Unless it's an automatic door where you're going, you know what I'm saying? You have to grab the handle, and there's 10,000 motherfuckers grab that handle wherever you go every day. So be mindful of that. Yeah, man. Crazy shit going on right now. I'm kind of posting something right now that's kind of wild. I'm like in and out, looking up and down. And yeah, it's some wild shit going on. The president, this dude that's the president, is under tremendous scrutiny now. All of these, I knew this shit was gonna happen. Everybody knew that, but the witchcraft or whatever's got all these people in favor of him is starting to wear off. What's happening? Shout out to everybody in the chat. What's up, Best? What's up, Scene 13? Shout out to Mr. Negus Freeman aka CD. We all know who you are. And shout out to everybody in the chat around the country. As I stated, this is something that DL Hughley had to say about the current situation that's going on right now.
One thing for sure, I can tell you who's not on Epstein's list. Nobody black, no immigrants, no trans. There's no diversity in this pedophile ring. No DEI. This is a game for rich, old white dudes. The largest demographic, number one registered sex offenders in America. Registered sex offenders are middle-aged white dudes. This is their game. And if you let this stuff slide, you have a favorite pedophile. Yep. That's the game you're playing. I don't care who did what. I don't care if I like their music, their politics. I don't care if I like their movies. If you did this, to me, you're a pedophile and you should suffer the consequences of the law.
Swear.
Because unlike a lot of people, like Megyn Kelly, or like all of these people who are excusing this, I ain't got a favorite pedophile. That's not a game I'm willing to pay. That's going to be on Netflix soon.
Shout out to DL Hughley for that comment right there. Let me give him another round of applause. Because let's keep it 100, y'all. For real, let's keep it a band. Megyn Kelly on Fox News the other day came out and had a video defending men. Listen to me now. This is something that if you or I did this shit, we would be put under the fucking jail. Megyn Kelly came out not on Fox News. She was fired from Fox News. Let me get that straight. She was fired from Fox News and also sexually harassed by Roger L. And I ain't going to say God rest your soul to that particular gentleman because he was a terrible fucking human being and sexually assaulted several women at Fox News. And I ain't going to say those women deserved it because they worked at Fox News. But you knew the job was dangerous when you took it, Fred, just like old boy used to say on the cartoon Super Chicken. Megyn Kelly came out to defend Epstein and people like him who just basically like young girls, not 6 or 7 year olds, like more like 15, 16, 17-year-olds. As that shit was supposed to be motherfucking cool. That he liked to be a pedophile to young women. The fuck world we living in, bro? Like I said, pretty soon they're gonna start saying nigga on national TV and mean it. Not like, nigga this and nigga that as to explain something about somebody saying the word. No, they're gonna start saying fuck these niggas. I'm gonna just be real with you. I don't like you motherfuckers. Fuck you niggas. We need to kill up. I'm telling you, it's coming. When someone can get on national fucking TV, or national internet, whatever international, and actually defend a man. Every motherfucking dude on this live chat who gonna see this fucking video later, who has a daughter, like I do, I have 2 of them. They just so happen to be grown women that I still worry about because they're grown men who would fucking do something to them too. We all should be sick to our stomachs that there is actually a female, not a man on the news, a woman defending sexual acts against a minor. They set the fucking marker on what the age of minor was. If you want to make kids adults before they're actual adults, move the goddamn age back so these pedophiles can just go to town on little babies. Y'all set the marker at adulthood is 18 years old, which makes no sense to me. If you're gonna make adults 18 or 21 or whatever, they should. If as far as I'm concerned, if a kid can go to the military at 18, they should be able to drink liquor. So, being an adult should be 18 all the way around. It shouldn't be no 21 to drink. What the fuck are you talking about? He can go die for his country, but he can't have a shot of bourbon? The fuck is this country is fucking nuts. It's ass backwards. You actually got people. I saw 4 people in the chat. I want to see all the thumbs up. If you touch down in this live stream on this video, I need you to click that thumbs up button. Everybody in this live chat, at least do that. You may not become a member. or anything like that, but hit that. What's up, Marcus, man? I didn't even realize you was there, G. What's happening? I just saw you, man. What's up there, everybody? What's happening? Yeah, this country done lost its fucking mind. And everybody who's doing all the immoral things, look at the color of their face. Do white people have a prerequisite on being immoral and stank? I don't know that. I don't know if that's the case, but it seems like on paper they might because all they now is there fucking black people out there or Asians and people that are deviant? Yeah, but per capita, not because there's more white people there. Maybe it is partly because there's more of them than it is any other nationality in the United States. But you guys be doing some nasty shit, man. Touching on babies, kids, beating up old women, doing all kind of crazy shit. Y'all be doing some wild ass shit. Super wild when you really think about it. The funny thing, not even funny. The seriously strange thing about the United States is that they today in the last 20 years, other than when Obama was in office, because they held him to the most highest stringent moral compass, they did not let Obama slide with anything. Nothing. Obama did not get to slide. Hell, if that man wore a tan suit, that shit made national news. So he was above reproach as a president, meaning that he was under so much scrutiny that he could not falter ever. He had to be above. That was tough to do for anybody. Now, black people say, well, he didn't do enough for us. I ain't no big fan of no Barack Obama because I know this political landscape in the United States. I know it's all smoke and mirrors. I know it's bullshit. I know. I mean, I know now. But if you're gonna put a figurehead up there for all these other goons, all these other silly people, and yeah, I'm calling women goons or whoever else can vote that believe in this system. They should realize by now that this system never has worked for its people. What it does, it just works. See, there's a difference of it working for its people versus it's just being a thing that just happens to work and things go and things are pretty much the. Today, it's under this thing that they've created that just works is under total and utter chaos because of the dude that's in office now. He's turned everything that's been pretty normal as far as politics goes on top of its head. He's just tariffs and he's just going crazy. The decorum is out of the White House. This motherfucker putting weird ass gold accents in the Oval Office to make it look like a royal palace versus it's insanity what's going on right now. It don't even make any fucking sense what's going on right now in this country. That's why it's just so much going nuts and planes crashing and it's just utter chaos. You know this shit is dark and if it was up to me to go ahead and say this, even though a lot of people don't believe in God or whatever, it's real demonic. All the things that are going on today because it's just so chaotic and psychopathic and it's just crazy. Motherfuckers, all kind of crazy. I've never seen so much corruption being thrown around. Literal things that have happened though, not like, conspiracy theories of corruption. No, these are literal things that have happened. People have done with Epstein and Trump touching. There's actual video of Trump saying, if a little girl, in 10, 20 years, I'll be dating her. He said that shit. You can't tell me this shit ain't some dark, divine shit. Not divine in the sense of like divine as God. It's just really maddening what the fuck is going on in this world right now. It's really maddening.
Have you ever played with a big man?
It's really maddening what's going on in the United States. So much so that I have to play this.
Take a look at what Michael
just said about Jeffrey Epstein. This is wild. He said that he urged Epstein to release information he had on Trump, but Epstein appeared worried about what Trump would do to him. He said, "I may be a P word, but I'm not crazy." He then said, "Trump is a man without any scruples." This essentially means that Trump is a guy without any morals, without any bounds. But let that sink.
Without any morals, without any bounds. That's a fucking yes statement to make. Without any morals, without any bounds. Marcus Banks in the live chat just said, "We are in the last days and very dark times." And when he says absolute facts, he's saying that pertaining to me and what we're talking about here today. And what we've been talking about for the last few years. If you go back to Corner Store Podcast in its inception, even when I had guests on, go back, look at all the old shit. Oh yeah, by the way, before I forget, please go check out the Corner Store Television merch store that's up and running right here on YouTube. A lot of cool. Most of the shirts are white. I made a conscious effort to make them white tees. I did that for a reason. Now, obviously, there could have been a whole lot of other colors and everything, but to me, it seems like on a white t-shirt, logos and things like that just pop. They just do. So if you want a white hoodie, you know what I'm saying? With the Corner Store Podcast or Corner Store Television logo on there, by all means, go check out the store. I got coffee mugs. I got stickers. You can buy a pack of stickers and just start plastering them shits everywhere you go in your state or in your city. It's right here. It's on the page. It's right. When you go to Corner Store Television, you'll see it. It's right there. It's up now. It's up. It's up. It's up. I made sure to check it. It's up. I maybe even Left Coast Clothing is a clothing brand that I have also. I may be opening another store that's going to be on the page as well. And that'll be all Left Coast Clothing gear. You'll see that coming soon. But yeah, this is a work in progress, man. It is like hard to get all this stuff set up, to get all your revenue streams and everything set up, especially when it's just you going to events. There was an event I wanted to go to this month, next weekend, actually, in Santa Barbara. It's an annual thing. The first annual one was last year. Me and the homie went. It's the 805 media event. And it's just hard, man. It's hard, when you're doing things solo. This is a media company that's a thriving small media company that I'm trying to build. I'm trying to do some things and make some shit happen. Comic Book Corner is a content show that I have on here. People don't even realize that I'm into comics and stuff. So much so that I started Corner Store Comics. You can go to my community page. You can go to Corner Store Television Instagram, and you'll see all of the links and everything to my comic book store. All my comics are digital at this time. I can't afford to get them published any other way at this time. But, once the revenue starts to come in from all these different facets that I'm trying to create, then you'll start seeing, and there will be a comic book corner apparel shop too coming up very soon. I think I even might do a comic book corner or Corner Store Comics YouTube page dedicated to all my comics. I'm thinking about doing that. So it's so much stuff going on right now, but I just wanted to throw in that my merch store is up and I'm trying to build some other things, but also trying to keep everything on the same wavelength as well. As you know, Corner Store Television Europe is up. Shout out to the homie Best Big Matt in the building, and he's running that. He's getting all that squared away. I'm trying not to put as much Corner Store US stuff on that page so he can fill it up with all of the European content that he's coming up with, which I'm very proud of and happy of him seeing and doing that. I need to get his numbers up on that page, and everybody needs to realize that we all so subscribe, to everybody. Go and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to Corner Store Television Europe, go look for that. That's what you got to type in on YouTube, Corner Store Television Europe, Corner Store Television Europe. You'll start to see all the hip hop artists from France and from all over Europe that he's going to be posting. Some of them is live. You may not dig or understand what they saying, but that shit is nice. I was shocked. I was thinking that was going to be it wasn't gonna be, man, it's pretty good. These motherfuckers, they be out there rocking, doing their thing too. Shit, these motherfuckers out there standing on the corner getting faded right now in France, just like we do right here in LA. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we're gonna continue with this sound. I want y'all to really tune in to this part right here. Tune in to what this young man is saying about this situation.
Again for a minute, Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted human trafficker with ties to some of the most powerful and rich men in the world, was afraid of Donald Trump. And more specifically, he was afraid of what Donald Trump would do to him if all of this information was released, which makes me wonder if he actually committed unaliving in that prison cell, or if somebody like Donald Trump had him taken out. But this wasn't some baseless claim. This came from Michael Wolff himself. He's an investigative journalist with years of experience documenting Donald Trump's behavior. He was in the room with Trump's people. He knew them personally. They let him hang around because they thought he was friendly until he started publishing bombshell after bombshell. Then they all, of course, turned on him. But this is very big news because a credible source confirmed that Epstein was afraid to say what he knew about. Take a look at what Michael Wolff just said about Jeffrey Epstein. This is
So let me make you understand what was just said. I know I had cut off the sound. This young man is basically reporting, and Michael Wolff is a very renowned reporter. I think he's freelance, but he's done stories for the Washington Post. He's done stories for the New York Times or whatever those, And so he's a very reputable reporter. So his sources are going to be accurate. He's going to be telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Marcus know what's up. He reported that Jeffrey Epstein basically was murdered for what he knew. His brother, who was just recently talking to Chris Cuomo, formerly of CNN, he had an interview. He was on the telephone and he was telling Cuomo, he said, my brother was killed. He was murdered. He was fucking murdered for what he knew. I'm telling you, the corrections department in the United States, the corrections department, most of our prisons are not funded. They're all privately funded. They're not federally funded. I think there's very little state-ran institutions as far as putting people in jail in this country anymore. Most of the institutions that are, will hold incarcerated people are privately owned. So it's a big business. In some states, and you can go look this up because the video's out there, there's in some states are getting sued because they had deals with these private entities to keep their prisons at a certain capacity. And if those prisons fall under that percentage of what they're looking for to make money, that they can sue the state that their prison is in. That shit is amazing. So now we got prison organizations or companies that have prisons. They are suing the states because they're not arresting and jailing enough people to fill the prisons with capacity. So you can't tell me that prisons not corrupt. So if you get a guy like Epstein in whatever type of prison, whether it's federal or state, because even the federal prisons are ran by private enterprises. That's why prisons now are Fortune 5 to 600 entities. Yeah, incarcerating people make good money. Them fucking meals that they serve, which ain't nothing but slop, they charge in downtown LA at the jail. They charge $70 for that bag lunch, a fucking piece of salami, some bread, some fucking mustard pack. I know because I've been in jail downtown LA. Mustard packets, a one piece of fruit and a fucking warm ass milk. $70. When they transfer you from downtown city jail to Wayside, because if you've been in jail, if you anybody on here who's been in jail in LA, you know they're not just gonna let you relax. That's something that they started doing so people couldn't create networks in jail, and beat up people and have this hierarchy. So what they do every 3-4 days, they'll tell you, pack it up. They just start calling your number that you are Davis, go on the Wayside. And then they take your ass So wait, do you know how much that trip costs to take all them prisoners they name and put them on a bus? Do they got to reprocess you when you get to Wayside? You got to go in there. You got to spread your ass cheeks and cough, all that shit all over again. Let me tell you something. If they make you do all that and they charging $400 transportation to and from LA jail to Wayside, just back and forth, back and forth. That's what a lot of these sheriffs, there's just sheriffs that's all they do is drive the bus. Or they on training. Maybe they was in the academy and now they just bus drivers. You know what I'm saying? Until they finally get whatever duty, you know. Because they don't, sheriff's department, when you're a cadet there, you graduate, you're not going on the street, you're not doing street patrol right away. You're gonna do some bullshit. You might work at the courts, nigga, as a bailiff. You might work downtown at the jail. They might have you driving the buses, all that shit before you actually see any time on the street. That's how that shit worked there. I found all this out through trial and error. And just learning about how that shit works. So you can't tell me that they can't tell a sheriff or a guard or somebody work at these prisons, which are privately owned, to leave the area so Jeffrey Epstein can be hung, strangled, or done whatever to him to make it look like a suicide. That man ain't gonna kill himself, man. He know. I don't think he had life. And even if he had a whole bunch of years, there's a chance he might get paroled. And plus he got lawyers. Them motherfuckers working on all kind of fucking, to overturn that conviction. They're gonna be doing all kind of appeals. So why kill yourself? You still got millions and billions of dollars. And the funny thing is, when you become a billionaire, people think when you get in trouble like that, you lose it all. Yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of money. But the investments and the money that you hid someplace, if you smart and you got billions, you hid some of that money. You put it in a numbered account that'll never be traced. Swiss bank, not Venezuelan, Vienna, some bank that can't be touched by federal nothing, United States. You get out of jail, the first thing you're gonna do if you ain't on parole is you getting the fuck out of here. I would, in obscurity, nigga, in Portugal, in the most nicest little crib. For about 500 bands, you can get a crib probably off the Portuguese coast, nigga, with a nice chick. I'm telling you, man. There's no fucking way Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. Why? And especially when he know 90% of the people that's powerful as fuck in this country or a politician is doing the same shit he is. So he's confident in the fact that, okay, they convicted me. I don't know why. They must have been trying to get rid of me. And then he started probably thinking, damn, wait a minute, they're trying to get rid of me. And I'll be scared too in jail. It's like your money not going to save you at that point. Check this out, y'all.
This back and forth with Jeffrey, where he tells you that Bannon is with him, and you say, oh, great, ask him if Putin still has photos of Donnie T, I'm assuming President Trump, with blowing, which we all know what that means, Bubba.
Let me stop you here. I'm not discussing that email. This is a private email between Jeffrey and myself. There's two brothers talking. It's nobody's business what we wrote. The only thing I responded to is because people got crazy with the Bubba reference and they tried to pin it on Clinton. So I made a public statement that it was not any reference to Bill Clinton. I like Bill Clinton, and I'm sorry for him that he had to go through that. But the email had nothing to do with Clinton, and that's my last word on that email. What I do want to talk about is I've been recently told the reason they're going to be releasing these things and the reason for the flip is that they're sanitizing these files. There's a facility in Winchester, Virginia, where they're scrubbing the files to take Republican names out of it. That's what I was told by a pretty good source. And my main focus...
Look, do you believe that? Do you believe... Hold on, Mark, hold on a second. Two things. One...
Well, I believe that,
if you don't want to talk about it...
I don't have...
All right, I obviously you believe it. You just said it, but... All right, but Mark, hold on a second. Let me ask you a question.
Jeffrey did not commit suicide. That's my focus. Nope. I don't care about the files. Jeffrey's dead. So I don't care of the implications of the files. That's other people's problems. My brother did not commit suicide, and we're finding more information to prove that he didn't commit suicide. So the question becomes, who killed him? Well, who had him killed?
That was Chris Cuomo talking to Jeffrey Epstein's brother on the phone about clearing up the point of the email that, well, it kind of said that Trump sucked Bill Clinton's penis. So he was cleaning that up and saying that that wasn't what that email meant. It was something else about something else, but it's probably just as vile as the thought of the Clinton and him together, whatever. He cleaned that up. And then he said, though, that the thing that was going on right now, if you notice, go look out the videos of Trump. At first, he was like, no, fuck that. It's a hoax. Stop talking about this. Stop talking about this. Stop talking about this. Now he's talking about, okay, release the files. Y'all want to see the files so bad, release the files. Now he obviously, knowing what kind of motherfucker he is, there's no fucking way that this dude is trying to incriminate himself. He's not. What they're doing and what Jeffrey Epstein's brother just said to Chris Cuomo is they're scrubbing the files now. They're scrubbing the files now to get those names of all the people that are in the administration that were doing the pedophile shit with Epstein. They're trying to clean all that up before they release those files. They're trying to redact. Well, most of those files are going to be redacted anyway, but they're trying to further redact them to make it to where it's almost unreadable. But see, there's too much evidence that's already been released by the Washington, I think it was New York Post or somebody who released, and also the Democratic congressman released emails that they had or information they had. And the only reason why Trump is saying that it's all a hoax and all this other bullshit is because the government shutdown got unshut and everybody's going back to work because of 8 Democrats who caved. We talked about this on the last episode. Those 8 Democrats, you might as well call them double agents, meaning they play both sides. They'll call it coming across the aisle. Well, we got to go ahead and shake the person across the aisle and come to an agreement. No, they were staunch in their stance on not opening this government, and those people, yes, gonna have a terrible Christmas. They even might still have a terrible Christmas. Christmas is right around the corner, and at least 1 or maybe 2 of their checks already been held up. They weren't getting paid. Some people were at work. That's why all of the TSA workers walked off the job at the airports. They're like, man, I'm not going to be up here dealing with all these crowds and this bullshit and not getting paid for it. Don't even make no fucking sense. Everybody know going into the airport, if you work there, to park is a bitch. You might have to park so far away, you got to take a shuttle. And then when you take a shuttle, you got to go in and clock in. And then you got to walk out. Man, that fucking job at the airport sucked. Ain't enough amount of money. It's a job 2 blocks from here that I had that I ain't like. Imagine a motherfucking job where you got to go through all that processing just to get in there. Shout out to everybody on the live stream. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? I see I got 4 people in there. I only got 3 thumbs up. Please hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button for your boy. It helps me in the algorithm. And if you're not a member of Corner Store Television, to be able to watch Corner Store Podcast every Tuesday and Thursday, go ahead and become a member, man. Go ahead and become a member, man. Come on in. Come on in and have you send them grits. These greens is good too. So is that cornbread. Come on in. Let me see here. I'm trying to see. Okay, check this shit out. This is going to be wild. Listen, sit back, buckle up, and listen to this. Everybody in the chat, we good? If we good, say holla. Everybody put in the chat, holla. Say holla. If everybody good, I'm going to wait for a few seconds before I start this. You really need to hear this. So I need everybody in the live stream's attention. I know you probably may be doing some shit. You might be cooking, listening to your boy, looking at your boy, whatever. I don't know what you're doing, but I need your attention. So roll call real quick. Say what up. I'm sorry. Just say what up in the live chat real quick. Say what up in the live chat. You know what I mean? Shit, ain't nobody responding. Everybody sitting there, just sitting there. Respond, motherfuckers. I'm trying to let you hear something. This is serious right here. Maybe it won't catch up till later. So fuck it. I'm going to just go ahead and start this shit.
So Tucker Carlson coming out and saying that maybe this assassination attempt in Pennsylvania was fake. All of a sudden, so many people are going, maybe it was. No shit. That kid was practically escorted up to the top of that building, and nobody saw anything, even though people have been saying there's somebody up on top of that building. And then anybody with any kind of knowledge about weapons, high-powered missile like that hitting your ear, even clipping your ear, would have blown his ear off. But no. No spatter, no nothing. Just a trickle. And then they even shuffled him around to get a good photo of. No, come over here. Fight, fight, fight. And that Secret Service acting, hell, is as bad as Erica Kirk's. Little fat one couldn't get her gun put up. It was a joke. The victim that day was the man back in the back, watching him talk. The fireman. And he was just collateral damage. And that kid up on top of that roof probably honestly thought that he was going to be a hero. Mm-hmm. They probably told him he'd go do this for them and they'd get him off that roof. I don't think he knew that they were going to sacrifice him.
Nope.
But the old guy back in Germany did the same thing. When his numbers started tanking, he had an attempt made against him too.
Adolf Hitler.
And think about it. Within a couple of days, he was making appearances with a Kotex slapped on the side of his head. And what did his followers do? Slap Kotexes on the side of their head.
Insane.
And then in 3 weeks, there was no sign of him even being injured. And hey, I know piercings. I know ear piercings. Cartilage don't grow back. That's just facts. So Tucker, thank you for finally coming out and saying that.
To hear that from a woman who, I don't know if she was a Trump supporter or not. She never said. So a silver-haired white lady, southern white lady, don't know what state she's from. I ain't gonna pretend to know. But she came right out, and I've been saying this ever since. I was sitting here right on my fucking couch watching that fucking psychopath talk. Watching him talk. And if I remember, he wasn't, did he win the presidency? I think he was campaigning. This was the campaign. They went all fucking out to win this election. So much so that they did a fake assassination attempt. A fake assassination attempt. And people bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. And I mean everybody. There was a lot of people like me who was like, that shit was bullshit. But surprising, there was a lot of people that looked like me that was like, they tried to kill him. That just shows you how easily manipulated people can be. And it also shows you a lot of people cannot see past their nose. And that also tells me another thing too. That kind of proves how self-centered everyone is in the United States. I'm sure you've probably had your days when you were out like, damn, everybody seemed arrogant as fuck in your town or your city, wherever you live. You know what I'm saying? You probably said that. You probably been on a public transit. If you haven't been on public transit, you was in your car and you go in the store and how people just, I've had people bump into me in the store with their cart and don't even say, I'll be like, hey, excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. And you forced them to apologize for some shit that they did. This is an arrogant country. Everybody is very self-centered. I've been that way. This is one of the places where a lot of things that we do habit-wise is because we form these habits and sometimes we don't even know we have them. This place makes you very jaded. It makes you, well, Black people for sure, it makes us very rough around the edges. Very abrasive. That's why they say, why are they always so mad? Get raised under circumstances like Black people have been raised under. Even with 2 parents in the house a lot of times. Listen to Dave Chappelle. Both parents was in his house, but they was still broke. Most people say that was because of the parents. No. Parents were quite accomplished. They were educators. The only thing is educators don't get paid a human wage. And even 2 combined teachers' educations wasn't enough to raise a family comfortably under. Go fucking figure, United States of America. So don't ask yourself why people are angry. Ask yourself why they live in a country that lets them be angry. Some people are just angry all the time just for the fuck of it. I get it. Some babies come out mad, and just be mad for the rest of their life. So much so that they just got temper tantrums. There's human frailties, true enough. But that don't happen in thousands and thousands and thousands of people unless it's conditioned in them. That's just facts. We come from slavery. How are you supposed to have a normalcy? That means what they're saying today is we should be over it is because there's been generations and generations and generations since then. So it should be out of our system as far as they're concerned. Oh, we've motherfucker, there's been shit that's still been done to us and been done to us to this day that keeps that fucking slavery thing alive and well in people's psyche. Are you fucking crazy? It ain't like you motherfuckers turned around and decided back in the day to just go ahead on and reparate us and say, when you see a black person, say hello and tell them you're sorry. If that would have happened in let's just say that happened in the early 1980s, that we were reparated and white people said, you know what, that shit was horrible. And they had a whole year of telling us we're sorry. Let's just assume it was my 11th grade year at Crenshaw High in 1983 or some shit. You know how different this country would be now? In a positive way. A lot of people will hear this and say, especially if they was white, we're like, oh, that would have happened. You guys would be running amok. The fuck are you? Shut up. If we were reparated back in 1982 and had a year of recompense, a year of them telling us how fucked up that shit was, and a year of documentaries and everybody, we just get to cry all that shit out on both sides, whites, blacks, other communities, Asian and all that, get to see what really happened, get to feel it too and go, God damn, that's what happened to y'all. And they get to sympathize. The Hispanics see it. They get to sympathize and be like, what the fuck? That shit was crazy. Y'all went through a lot and made it and took, it's just like a towel, put it in that dirty, fucked up ass slavery and all that shit that happened, water, and wring that shit the fuck out to where it's just dry. Where do you think we'd be as a country if that would have happened? I think we'd be in a way better place. It'd still be a trickle down and a few weirdos to be like, fuck that shouldn't have happened. Fuck that. Even politicians in the back. We should, I don't know if we should have cried so much, and I don't know if we should have gained that much. Trying to be fucked up. If there would have been a few motherfuckers doing that shit, right? But if the majority of the people was like, fuck that was the right thing to do. We're going to move forward as humans in the United States, damn it, and grow as a country. You know how patriotic niggas would be, Asians would be, whites would be. Everybody would be super patriotic. Not everybody, but most people would be like, damn, we're a country that looks our bullshit in the face and goes, I fucked up right there. America don't do that all the time. And one thing about America, too, is they think, like when they paid the Japanese off, do you think dropping 2 nuclear bombs on that island and you giving them 20 grand a piece is enough recompense for that? You tried to do something for them at least. You didn't do shit for us. Slavery is like 15 nuclear bombs dropped on 6 states that was all black. Destroying all those black thriving towns back then that were making hundreds of thousands of dollars and doing better than the surrounding white towns, which wasn't doing shit, is equivalent to dropping 2 hydrogen bombs on 1 state that's full of black people. We should have been reparated a long time ago and told straight to our face like men do with balls and courage. We was fucking wrong. We should have never did that to y'all. The services, the inventions, the work the sweat, equity that you guys have put into creating this country will not ever not go unrecognized. This is American history. This is black, white. This is everybody history. If they would have done that, I don't even think there'd be gang banging no more. But see, the reason why it's stuff the way it still is because that's what they want, man. That's what they've always wanted is turmoil. That's what they've always wanted is chaos. That's what the fuck they've always fucking wanted. They don't want to see you happy. If they did, they would bend over backwards and try to at least make half or a third of your dreams come true that you believe in. If a child's in school and he says, you know what? I want to be an auto repairman and mean it, that should be nurtured right away. That school should go, we got auto, you going to do your math and everything, but we got an auto class that you can go to the first 5 classes. Because we used to have, let's put it this way. If school really was in America was really about something, when you got to high school after the first 2 preliminary schools, because that's what I call them, the prelim schools, elementary school, junior high, then you go to high school. When you get to high school, they should come in and talk to each kid. A counselor should talk to each kid. Do you kind of know what you want to do in life? Is there something that you specifically really dig? And the kid tells him, I kind of, no, I didn't say kind of. What do you like? I mean, for real, I don't really know. That's cool. We can help you with that. That first year, you put them in regular classes. They have all these different, they should have never took electives out of high school, like cooking and home ec or auto repair, all that. They should have never took that shit. I think that should be a part of school all day. They should have school should have a garage area where they fixing cars and shit. Schools should have an area where they repair refrigerators and wash machines and create new styles of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? High school should have a computer class where they doing new programs or at least teaching how to program and shit like that as an elective. That's what real school should be about. Them other classes, they could have 3 classes a day of math, whatever the bullshit history. Let's see, history, that's a bullshit class. That's a made up class because we've come to find out that history ain't even what they said it was. So why teach that fucking class? The only class you need to be teaching in high school, as far as academic wise for learn, is math. So motherfucker count his bread and know how to do business. Maybe political science. Maybe political science. So you know how government works, how your local government works, how your federal government works, how laws are made. That's not a bad idea. And maybe what? What else? I don't know. Art, obviously art. Shit, a lot of these classes at these schools are full of shit, and you know it. You know it. Some of the shit you've learned in high school, you're not using none of that shit. And if you had to talk about history with somebody, everybody's history is so jaded. I was talking to this one white lady. She was like, I know for a fact that the Moors ruled over Europe for over 600 years. This bitch said the Moors wasn't even black. They was Asian black or some shit she said. And she said Cleopatra was Greek and she wasn't black. That the the Egyptians that we knew back in those days were Greeks that, like, man, shut your ass up. They always trying to water down, and she'll swear it's because she went to college and, bitch, I don't buy none of that shit. I buy what the motherfuckers, scholars who've read the scrolls, who know the texts, who've read shit that was supposed to have been destroyed by certain kings in Europe, so you wouldn't know the real deal about what went down over there. That's why black people hate it so much. Europe was controlled by them for 6 centuries, but they don't give the credence to the fact that the Moors taught them how to bathe. The Moors taught them about street lamps. Do you know Back in the day, they used to have a lantern lighter. We got street lamps now because of electricity, which came obviously centuries later. But they used to have a guide. They put these poles and put these big candles on there. They have a guide. Right when it got dark, start lighting those. That's who the fuck you think came up with that? The Moors, who were black. Bathing. There are movies. There are movies you can see about the dark ages when white people ran Europe to where they would be eating at a table and they didn't use utensils. They would grab the food with their hands. I'm telling you, man, they would be mad. The peas and the chicken, they would just grab it. They would just grab it and be eating like that with all these so-called fine clothes on and jewels. The Moors brought them utensils, how to eat with utensils. And they also would have rats running across. This is the truth. I'm telling you, I'm not lying. They would have rats running across the tables as they're eating. They was when the Moors came to Europe and they invaded, did they shit and was running it. They used to look at some of the shit that they would do and be like, "What the fuck are y'all doing? You letting rodents and vermin all up in your castle? They should be killing the shit out of rats and shit." Rats is what caused the Black Death in Europe, which killed thousands of Europeans. They was burning those bodies because the Black Death was one of the worst plagues ever. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. Ever, ever, ever. You thought COVID was bad. The Black Death was worse than the bubonic plague, which I think it was a variation of the bubonic plague, but they didn't know what to call it back then. Rat feces everywhere. Everywhere. Right? Nasty. Yeah. There's a movie about it that Rutger Hauer did. Blood and Bone or some shit like that back in the day in the 80s. There was a pig head. Thinking about the movie, because it was a wild ass movie, very decadent. When I say decadent, it was nasty. Then people was dirty and they was fucking and it was nasty. It was an old European English time. And this one girl that got kidnapped by them. They was like some villain. It was a crazy ass movie. How she ended up getting away from them is, how they would build wells. Just like in African nations or anywhere where you need water and there's no water source, you got to dig wells. Where there was one castle had a well, and these dudes had raided this castle and this keep and took it over. And there was a pig that died of the plague, and they was going to eat the pig. They had cut the heart out of the pig, and she had that heart, and she was like, "I can kill these motherfuckers if I throw this pig heart in the well. Whenever they drink the well water, they're gonna get sick." That movie was dope, but it just showed you how nasty it was, dude. The new movie Frankenstein, go see that or look at that. I'm sorry, however you want to see it. Look at how the streets were in Europe and how the mud was before pavements and before sewer systems. How dirty Europe was. That movie is a perfect example. Every time I see those films, it's a version of The Three Musketeers, which is in French. You got to watch it with subtitles that I watch on Netflix. Dope ass fucking show, but it showed how you see all the castles and all that stuff. The motherfuckers would just throw trash on the ground, bro. It's some wild ass shit, man. Europe was wild and motherfucker. They learned a lot from us. And that's why black people are hated in this world so much, because we ruled it at one time. And a lot of people that are not black will hear this and be like, "That's bullshit. They just be love making up shit. They love this shit's just real, bro. It is what it is." And that's the reason why you overreacted to it. Because if you really didn't believe it, you would just be like, "All right, whatever," and just go on about your day and say, "Well, people gonna believe what they." But see, the reason why you get a response like that, or you get somebody saying something in the comments, is because they know this shit is fucking true. That's why. My mother would always say, this is an old adage, a big dog will holler, meaning that the people who doing all of the biting, when they get bit, they holler. Because if you don't believe, that's like a girl. Nobody wants to be called a bitch. I get that. But if you talking to a female and you say, man, you're a bitch or something, I ain't no bitch, and she overreacts, 9 times out of 10, she's overreacting because she know that's who she is. Most people, I'm a bitch. Oh, okay. And they don't be tripping. They know that's not who they are. They know you just being a pussy ass nigga and calling her out her name. If people overreact to some shit you say they are, 9 times out of 10, that's what they are. It's the same thing with all these politicians that go have these stances against, gay people this, gay people that. Guess what? You sucking dick. Trans testicles, transgenders, I can't stand them. I hate them. He's fucking with trannies. A motherfucker have a stance against blacks or something. Especially like one of these white senators, Marjorie Taylor Greene, talk about black men and black this and that. And in front of other whites, like they had the video of the chick who's the white horse, the white whore, the White House secretary or whatever, corresponding secretary, the lady. And there was a thing where the black cop was in there or something, and she kept backing away from him like she was scared of him. That's all bullshit. That bitch doing that for the camera. That girl will suck a black balls and ass and whatever, paws and sucking the ass, but that's what they do. Because they'll do anything to a black penis once they get one in front of them, white women. I'm telling you, I know. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. They will do things because it's like, oh, I got me one. If they didn't have one before, you could tell. But if they ain't never been with a brother, they will go crazy. They go crazy. And they've been thinking of this shit all their life. I don't give a shit. There's a white woman who hate niggas so much, fuck niggers and be with Nazis and all that shit in front of everybody. She going crazy. If they see one, they talking shit to them. I can guarantee you when she by herself, she see the certain black dude she like and won't, she rubbing her shit to that nigga. Because they know that being a racist is dumb. It's dumb. It's stupid. But you want to act like that because you want to belong to something. Everybody is basically the same in this world. The reason why there's gangbangers, there's motherfuckers in the hood that not only get pressed by other niggas that bang, they want to feel a part of something because something's missing at the crib. They belong. Something's missing. That's why niggas group up like that. Goddamn well. Why would you want? Now I did it. I'm around. I ain't joined, but I was around niggas like that. Got punched out of everything. That's because the motherfuckers be want to hang out. I never crossed the bridge. I was around it, kind of down with it. Damn near got jumped in. Da 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 da. But why would you take a beating to join some shit just to go and have to fight other motherfuckers? It's almost like it's an animal thing. Perfect example. Shout out to this dude because he got his hand blow off, but the 4 extras. You see how extras, nigga, he had to put that shit in his name. So that means everywhere he go, he off the back. Every time he wants to, I don't give a fuck. His hand gone, he's still doing that. This nigga off the back got a new album coming out. Now he a rapper. If it's a persona, and even though he might live that persona, he's trying to make bread off of it now and everything like that. But I'm gonna tell you something. Being in a gang really don't make you tough. And even you can try to, and see, a lot of times what it is you'll join some guys and want to prove to them that you just as crazy as they are, if not crazier. That's why niggas like on Minister Society, that's why Lorenz Tate character, Old Dog, was the craziest out of all them niggas. All them niggas in that movie was willing to kill somebody. The main guy, the fucking MC8's character, everybody in there was willing to do something to a nigga because they gang members. But it just depends on who's the most extra out nigga. And in that movie, Lorenz Tate was the extra out nigga. He liked to see niggas get killed. He'd shoot a nigga and be like, that shit was a fascinating thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing I'm tripping off of. Individuals. There are no more individuals in the world. But there will be motherfuckers that will gang up together like that in the bad neighborhoods where poverty is, where there's impoverishedness, where motherfuckers just not getting treated like they supposed to. That's when niggas click up. Right? How you think Mexican and Hispanic gangs, period, get together? Whether it be the nobody knew that Mexicans was beating up on El Salvadorians. Nicaraguans, nobody knew they was fucking with people or Colombians if you weren't straight Mexican, so to speak. So what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna find somebody that's from their country and they're gonna link up. That's how MS-13 got started. They ain't got no MS don't fuck with the cartels. They do. They got their own cliques from their country that's bringing in whatever they bringing in. That's why motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's under attack. Even the Asians, Tiny Rascals, all these little different gangs. The Wild Shows up in Frisco, all that. Motherfuckers, when they oppress, when you come from the ghettos of these minority communities, and there are white ghettos too. That's where you get the Aryan Brotherhood. That's where you get not the Klan. The Klan's something different. That shit is old racism. There's all the Proud Boys. What do you think these dudes is? Some of them ain't broke, some of them middle class, some of them work at your local fire department, all that shit. So everybody be clicking up. Even the fucking police got their own gangs. Dudes of like-minded, let's beat up a nigga, let's kill a dude tonight, let's do this, that, and the third. Everywhere you go, it's a clickety world that we live in. Ain't no more individuals. Everybody want to do the same thing. It then got into the music. Everybody want to sound the same in music. No, nobody want to have no originality. Everybody sounds the same. That's the reason why we're under such weird scrutiny. If you didn't go to bed 10 years ago or 15 years ago and wake up and say to yourself, nigga, shit seems different. You lying right now. Because everything seemed different. We've definitely been under a Mandingo, my bad. Pause. Mandela effect. Mandela effect. Not Mandingo. I'm sure some white women wouldn't mind having Mandingo fuck with them. But I wasn't talking about that. Pause. I was talking about, waking up and feeling like you in a whole nother fucking universe, man. It's a whole nother planet. Shit just don't seem the same. It just does not seem the same. I promise you. You know it. I know it. The sad part is, what could we do about it? What could we do? Nothing. Now, this is a very important piece of sound right here that I want y'all to listen to. So check this out.
What kind of people will wake up in the morning to kill other people? Are you okay?
We had a little feedback. Let me start that over.
What kind of people will wake up in the morning to go and make weapons to kill other people? Are you okay? You come to Africa, you dig up the whole place and leave mining dumps, poisoning rivers with cyanide, only to bring the gold and put it in a warehouse somewhere here you call a vault. You come to Africa, you animals, only to collect the horns and leaving the meat to rot on the ground. Are you okay? And then when they see us putting on skins like this, they want to look like they're conservationists. No, you're going to be putting on animal skins, but you're sitting on a leather chair with leather shoes, with a leather belt. Are you okay in your head? With a leather car. What kind of hypocrisy is that? You pollute the whole world with carbon. Then you come around and say, please, let's do some green energy. Shut your industries up if you're talking about green energy. You have lied to us for too long. And the honeymoon of lies is over.
Yeah, you heard him. You heard him. Africa is fucking done with the colonization of its continent and all of its countries within there. Now, if you want to talk about what World War III will be all about, they'll have us believe it's because of the Middle East. But Israel really controls a lot of what goes on this planet. Not the Jewish people, the Israeli government, who happen to be under the guise of being a Jewish religious state that loves everybody and all that. But they are pure and utter killers. One thing that they do not like is the rise of a unified continent of Africa, which consists That's the reason why all those countries are over there trying to be down with them, because they want to bring whatever Christian religion they have to that continent. There's a lot of Muslim countries in Africa, Ethiopia being one of them, but they are Christian too over there as well. It's kind of a mix, I believe. But Africa's waking up, man. They are not trying to hear the bullshit no more. They really not. You know, Africa wants its independence. All of its countries in Africa wants its independence. So all I can say is this. I hope he does. Because sometimes I don't think it makes any difference.
It's just.
Yeah. 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 Speak. You made your vote, you think it count? The check you cash and shit then bounce. Egg prices really high. Damn. You worried about it, look to the sky. Damn. Praying by your bed at night. Damn. The pressure's on, the shit is tight. Damn. Your life is wrong, you living right. Damn. You wanna leave it all tonight. Nobody can help you now. Don't try to call out now. You screaming, begging, asking please. Yeah, while praying down on your knees. It won't make a bit of difference. It won't make a bit of difference. Think you safe, think you fine. Yeah, lose your sanity, lose your mind. It won't make a bit of difference. It won't make a bit of difference. You think you safe, think you fine. Lose your sanity, lose your mind. Struggling through the land. Yeah. There's wars going on in the sand. Yeah. Over in the motherland. Damn. Where God used to walk, man. Damn. Jews is mad, Arabs too. Yeah. They killing children, what we do. Yeah. They shoot us up at the school. Damn. They all out there breaking rules. Yeah. They don't give a damn no more. Yeah. They not even trying to look at the score. No. Killing everywhere. Yeah. Goddamn, nobody cares. It won't make a bit of difference. Yeah. Yeah, it won't make a bit of difference. Yeah, yeah. Think you safe, think you fine. You think, lose your sanity, lose your mind. Yeah, it won't make a bit of difference. Yeah, it won't make a bit of difference. Yeah, you think you safe, think you fine. Lose your sanity, lose your mind.
Hey, truer words is never been
Let's
spoken.
go.
This song mean a lot to me. When I made this, I was like, man, that's exactly how I feel a lot of times. You feel me? But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
And this is the last little joint for Corner Store Podcast today. Just to let y'all know, I'm doing good. I'm living through all this bullshit that's going on. And I hope you are too. I'm gonna catch you on Thursday. Next episode of Corner Store Podcast. Enjoy. I'm doing okay while we roll on out.
Doing okay. Yeah. I'm doing okay. Yeah. Yeah. morning, I get up steady yawning. I gotta jump on this bus. When I get on in the back, I'm mad he cuss. His mind is deranged. In the city, life can be strange. But you still gotta do it. Gotta feed your kids, you gotta prove it. You can't worry about all the bullshit. I have to admit, I can't quit. I need this job. Next year, you know, I'll be just like a slob. Not no gangbanger turn. A nigga that's out on the sidewalk who can't earn and can't learn. I'm a homeless nigga. A nigga gotta make these stacks and stack these figures. I'm doing okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm doing okay. Okay. I'm doing okay. Well. Okay. Thank you. And God bless you. Yeah. Doing okay. Well. Okay. I'm doing